the real coach in the family, just so it's very clear here, okay? Gabby is what keeps everything on track, and without Gabby, I'm sure Scotty would say that he wouldn't be where he is. So Gabby's the real coach. She's a mom to 5 gorgeous kids. She is the better half and the ultimate coach. And we want to welcome Gabby up, and I'm going to just run through a little bit of a Q&A with Gabby, all right?
Hello. So I'm excited to be here. This is my first time ever speaking at a Super Saturday.
So, do you want to start with a little introduction, or do you want me to go into some of the questions that I have?
Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So, first of all, can you tell us a little bit of background? What was your life before Beachbody and now after Beachbody?
Okay, so just a little backstory for us. I won't go too far back, but when we got married, we had our first daughter, Keena, and we were in a good position as far as like money-wise, so we had her on government help. Scott went in after we had her to his job and asked for a raise, and basically was told like, you're not good enough. So right then we decided to move to Idaho Falls. And so she was 3 months when we moved, and I ended up taking oh my gosh, I can't look at him. I'll look over here. So I took a job at a call center that I didn't like, and she was 3 months at the time, so we had to put her in a daycare, and Scotty was working, and I just didn't like the call center, and I knew I had to be with her, you know. So one day that like really impacted me was, I went to her daycare once during my lunch break, and she was taking a nap, and so I didn't get to see her at first, but then there was like, as I was leaving, there was a little cry, and her teacher was like, oh, do you want to wait a minute, that's Keena crying, and I'm like, how does she know her crying? I don't know it, and I'm supposed to be the one like raising her and knowing that cry and knowing that was her. And so that's when I was like, okay, we need to find something as a family to where I can stay home and be with the kids, know them, and not have someone else raising them, you know. So we didn't know at the time how we were going to make that possible, just with the bills and our jobs, it just wasn't lining up. So kind of fast forward to four and a half years ago, where Scott learned about Beachbody and brought it home to me, and we kind of talked it over and decided that we had seen what other people had done with it, so we knew this was the avenue that we could take and that would change our lives and bring me home. And now both of us are home with the kids, you know, so that's kind of the after story, that we're both able now to be with them, and they can see our examples and just everything that Beachbody is for us, you know, the personal development, the workouts, and just a healthier lifestyle.
It's amazing. So the next question, I know that a lot of people have had some challenges at times when one person really believes strongly, maybe a spouse isn't as supportive. So were there ever any times when you weren't as supportive of what Scotty was doing?
Yeah, so he brought it to our attention, and he was so excited. He's somebody that goes 110% with anything he does. He goes all in, and this is just really focused. You saw him at your house, he's just super focused, and so he was doing all he could in the beginning and just working at it all the time. So there were times where we were kind of feeling neglected, you know, so to speak, just because he was so focused. And that's, I guess, kind of leading to your next question, to where
so exactly. So what are some things that you would, like, how did you get through that, or what are some things you would recommend as a spouse or partner to a coach?
So 100%, like, communication is number one. So once I let him know, like, hey, something's not aligning here, we realized obviously it was communication. So he was then able to communicate with me what he was doing, his goals, how he was going to reach them, how many hours he had to work. We even set aside time, specific hours for him to work. And so he'd work from this period of time, but then after that, I had given him his time, so now it's family time. Like, focus on this. And I mean, that you have to adjust as far as how fast your business grows and different goals you have. So that's always like a communication, like just always have communication with your spouse. So that's something that, for sure, number one thing that you should do. Let's see. Also, the important thing is just to share your goals with them. Obviously, in the beginning, you put in a lot of hours for very little pay, but if they know in the end there'll be this result, and then you show them that result, like it'll be worth it. Like I knew in the end, he would always remind me, like, we're doing this to bring you home, like for our ultimate goal of both being home with the kids. And I'm like, hey, let's do it, let's do it. And I would just have that in the back of my mind, just to know what the end result was. Like I was saying, set hours together, stick to those hours. And then I would even recommend like your spouse doing personal development. I didn't do it at first. He would actually blur it through the house while he was doing his workouts. So then I would catch little things. And even I was even stubborn in the beginning to be like, if he came up, he's like, oh, did you hear what I was listening to? I'm like, oh no, I didn't. But I was picking up on it, and I really loved like what I was learning. So eventually I was able to apply it and find books that I love, and even like as far as raising kids, or The Happiness Advantage is one that I love. One that we actually read together, and if you want to read with your spouse, I recommend that as well, is the 5 Love Languages book. I think you said you might have that as a gift today.
Maybe even a gift for that person, lucky person.
Yeah, for that book today. But so what this book is it says there's 5 people receive love in 5 different ways. So there's quality time, words of affirmation, physical touch, acts of service, and then gifts are the 5 different ways people receive love. And so mine is quality time. So I was trying to show Scott love in quality time, like spending time with him and trying to do stuff all the time with him. And his is words of affirmation. So he's like, okay, I don't need like this. Like just tell me I'm doing good and I'm happy. And so we kind of learned how to share each other's love languages, because he would tell me I'm doing great, and I'm like, hey, that does nothing for me. Like mine is quality time. Take me out on a date, or you know. So once we realized what our language was, I guess our love language, we were able to fulfill it properly and not feel, I guess, that like it was for me.
That's great. So those are a lot of great tips there. Do you have any other tips or advice for families or coaches that are a partner or spouse?
Yeah, definitely involve your families. I mean, we didn't do it till later on, but now the kids see us and you see them doing their little jumping jacks and making bowling boards and hanging them in their rooms. And my oldest daughter has a goal to earn $500 this year and go to San Diego, and she's 9 years old, you know. And so it's fun to see them set their own goals, and then just to see she also reads personal development, just to see their growth at that age and just have a positive mindset about life. So just involve your families, I guess, is the main thing. And then try your best to stay true to your work hours. Be at work 100% focused when you set those hours, and then 100% focused on your family when you set that family thing.
Thank you so much.